What's up guys, it's Kara here, and today I'm going to share with you one of my favorite breakfast cereals that I've been eating lately. And we are going to cook this on the stovetop. You can do it in the microwave, but I honestly think it's easier and quicker to just do it on the stovetop. So what we're going to make today is a high protein cereal using cream of rice. And why I've been liking this, for anyone that's cutting or bulking, this is actually a good option. So in terms of cutting, I've been doing a bikini prep. Cream of rice is naturally fat-free, cholesterol-free, sodium-free. So while I love my oatmeal, when you're cutting and watching every fat macro, cream of rice is a nice alternative. You do lose the fiber when you do cream of rice versus oatmeal, but it's still a really good option. And I also find that when I'm cutting and getting super lean, you notice if things bloat you or not, and cream of rice is super easily digestible. So if you're someone that's having any issues with bloating or digestion, you may want to switch and try out the cream of rice. So to get started, we're going to use just a pot on a stovetop. I'm going to go ahead and turn that on high. And this is gonna be higher volume as well. So what we're gonna do is add about a cup of water. I've got a little bit extra here, but I'm first gonna add in a cup of water and get that boiling. Gonna add just a little bit of salt to it. You don't have to, this is optional. Add a little salt there. And then for cream of rice, I already have my portioned out. 45 grams of cream of rice ends up being 36 carbs, 3 protein, and 0 grams of fat. So I'm gonna use that in there once that gets boiling. The other things I have that I'm gonna add to it, I'm gonna add the Cinegram MTS Whey, which is probably my favorite to add to it. You guys can certainly use any other flavor of MTS Whey that you like. It's funny because adding in the full scoop of protein actually adds volume to this recipe. It makes it thicker, it makes it creamier and fluffier. So you're also adding in the protein content there to make it much more filling than if you're just sitting there eating a bowl of carbs. So once your water gets boiling, you're gonna go ahead and add in your portion of cream of rice. And then what I suggest you do is, if you don't have a wire whisk, you can use a fork, but I'm gonna use a wire whisk. And you're just gonna wanna go ahead, and it's not gonna look like anything special right now, but just go ahead and whisk that up while keeping it at a boil. I like to let that boil for just a couple minutes before we add our other items in there. So you can see that's starting to fluff up already. Next, what I'm gonna go ahead and add in there is I've got 1 egg white already cracked open and whisked up. So we're gonna dump in 1 egg white. Again, depending on your protein needs, you guys could actually up the amount of egg whites that you add to this. And the egg white, you can't really taste it in there. What it does is add volume to the cereal. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour in that egg white. And you don't wanna just let it sit there. You kinda wanna go ahead and start whipping it up and whisking it together. And again, you'll notice right away it starts to add a lot of volume to the amount of cereal that we've got here. So just whisk it up and make sure the egg gets nice and mixed in so you don't have any like funky egg chunks in there. Okay, and this is still boiling a little bit. Next, what I'm gonna add on is some ground Saigon cinnamon. I actually don't know the difference between this and regular cinnamon. I just know it tastes better than regular cinnamon. If you know, comment below. But we're gonna sprinkle, yeah, a lot of that in there. You can never have too much. It's still boiling, so it's still going a little crazy. For sweetener, what I'm gonna add is this Better Stevia French Vanilla. I really love adding this to it. You guys could certainly add, I'm just gonna add a couple drops in there. You could add just regular stevia. You could add whatever kind of sweetener you want. So I'm gonna whip that up, and then next, 1 full scoop of my Cinegram protein. We're gonna throw this in there and then watch how creamy it gets. Just gets this amazing creamy consistency. Now I'm gonna turn it off the stovetop for now. Your cream of rice should be nicely cooked at this point. All right, so once you've got the protein all mixed in, I'm gonna use a spatula to make sure I don't lose any macros. I forgot to mention when I was saying earlier that this is great for cutting, it's also good for bulking too. Because if you're someone bulking, and yes, I know it sounds funny, but some people struggle to bulk because you get so full, right? And you're trying to get in enough calories. Well, cream of rice, like I said, is super easily digestible. It's pretty starchy, so it's higher in carb. So if you're someone that's bulking and struggling to get in enough calories, macros, carbs, this is a very easy item to throw into a bulk without making you feel overly like full and gross and bloated. So cream of rice is great to have on hand. That's obviously why they feed it to babies. It's very digestible. So you get that nice, delicious, creamy portion. For me, that's only like 36 carbs or so, but we did add a few nummies to it. I am going to top mine. Toppings are optional here, but I can never have enough cinnamon. So I'm gonna pour a little extra cinnamon on there. I love adding berries to this, especially while cutting. Berries are a staple. So I'm gonna add like a big hunk of strawberry there. And then the other thing, to add in some healthy fats, since this is essentially fat-free, minus the little bit from our MTS whey, a sprinkle on a tablespoon of some crushed walnuts. So I like to eat this nice and warm off the stovetop, but you guys could throw this in the fridge overnight. I've also done it ahead of time, cooked it, thrown it in the fridge overnight, and ate it the next day, and it tastes delicious cold as well. So I hope you guys give this recipe a try. Very versatile. I think you'll like it and find that it just digests very well and it's very satisfying. So give it a try. I hope you like it, and keep checking back for more.